From the heart of Montana, this is Big Sky, Small World, the Carroll College's student podcast.
Big sky, small world, rocking mountain high, Montana. Took it to the big sky.
I am here with Danny Ketzbeck in the podcasting studio. Danny is checking out Carroll. He's a prospective student at Carroll. He's got a lot of great options, and Carroll's maybe one of them. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Danny?
Hello, as he just said, my name is Danny Ketzbeck. I'm getting used to hearing my own voice and with the headphone thing with the studio, and it's like hard to talk.
Yeah, it is. You have to get used to it. Sure.
But yeah, I'm looking at either going to Carroll or University of Montana, and I'm looking at doing a double major in theater and communications.
Very good.
And then within those, I'd have specialization for theater. It'd be more on the tech side and like behind the scenes stage production, with the possibility of maybe one going into directing or something like that. And then for communication, I'm thinking of looking at interpersonal communications as a main focus. Because even if I don't go into a full-on career with that, I think the benefits of some of those courses have lifelong benefits. Because if you can have good relationships, being able to talk to people, especially like potential future spouse, then it'll help set me up for a lot of good success.
That sounds great. I think that's all great. Communication is a skill that employers want. They figure they can train in other skills, but they lose people if they can't communicate. So that sounds like a great plan. And some of the tech stuff in communication, like podcasting and some other things that we do, also fit pretty well with theater tech. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's awesome. What interests you most about theater? Sounds like it's production stuff.
Mostly just how much there is to a theater production and the dynamics of one day you're building the set, the next you're working on costumes, the next you're reading the script and making sure that you have everything written, all your lines memorized, and you're working with other people. There's the lighting, the sound design, and then there's also advertising and like managing how people are actually going to enjoy the show, and like there's so much that goes into it, and that's what I really like. And not only is it storytelling, which I like, but like there's just so much. And I'm the kind of person that likes to do a little bit of different things throughout the day. And I'm someone who can't like go at one thing all the time, 24/7. I need a bit of diversity. And like within theater, innately there is that diversity.
Awesome. That sounds great. It sounds like a lot of what you like about theater is the communication, what it takes to put a production together, all the different pieces that have to come together.
For the most part. I do want to act on stage at some points, but I'm more so on like, I want to look at the technical side, because for like potential career paths, like I said, I would want to go into like maybe directing. And for directing, you have to be familiar with all aspects of the production thing, because you have to be involved in all aspects. So
that's true.
And that's why Carroll's a really interesting option for me, because I've talked to Kimberly Shire, who is the director of the program. And how she describes it is each production you pick a thing that you're going to do, and then you do it. So like if you want to work on the stage for one scene as a focus, then you can do that. If you want to do costume for the next, you can do that. And like for example, she mentioned how one of the seniors for like the last play is working on props.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. You can get a really well-rounded experience at a theater like Carroll.
Also, like a small class size helps get more one-on-one stuff. So even if you don't get as wide a range of different inputs, the inputs you do get are going to be more tailored to what you need to work on.
That's true. More tailored, more in depth. Yeah, there's more depth probably to the feedback and to the development. Yeah, that's awesome. Very good. Okay, let's do a couple would you rathers.
Okay.
You ready? Okay. This one's probably pretty easy. Would you rather have bad breath or stinky feet?
I say probably stinky feet. It's easier to
mask.
Yeah, you just put shoes on or something.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
And then like for bad breath, that is like you can put mints and whatnot in, and brush your teeth. But if like that is just an innate quality, I'd prefer stinky feet.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call. Less, have to worry about it less probably if it were chronic. How about this one? Imagine the rest of your life. Everything you eat is either too sweet or not sweet enough. Which would you rather?
Maybe. Kind of want to lean towards not sweet enough, because when you've had stuff that is too sweet, it is too sweet.
Yeah, and I get like queasy or something. You know what I mean? It affects me.
Like I enjoy a good sweet cake, but like if it's above a certain sweet threshold, then it's like how do I continue to eat this? But if it's like not sweet enough, then you could just like throw sweet out the window and go for like salty and like spicy. Like
That's
no
true.
longer you don't have to box
Just
it
not
down.
worried about it.
Yeah, don't
That's
box
true.
yourself down into sweet. You can,
That's a
so
good
not
call.
quite sweet enough.
That's a good call. Okay, one more. This is a good one. Okay, you have to fight. Okay.
Okay.
But you have to fight either 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck. What are you going to do?
The horse-sized duck.
Yeah, just because there's just one of them?
Yeah, I mean, like, if there's so many of them, then they're all grouping up on you. But if there's just one big one, well, also it's a duck.
It's also a duck, right?
So, it's not so bad because it's a duck. It's a large duck, but it's got wings and like the flippers.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
not
true.
like. And sure, it's got a beak, but like as long as you can stay your distance, I think it'd be fine. Also, if you can come into the battle equipped, then
Yeah,
you're only dealing
that's
with
true.
one enemy.
That's true. Depends on what you have. That's a good call. All right. Well, Danny, it's been great to chat with you this afternoon. Glad to be able to show you the studios here at Carroll and try them out a little bit. I'm glad you were able to go to the play the other day as well, and look forward to maybe seeing you here. If not, hopefully we'll hear good things from the theater in Missoula.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Thanks, Danny.
Took her to the big sky.
All right. I am in the great town of Butte, and we are meeting with some prospective Carroll students. And please introduce yourselves.
My name's Nathan Stone. I'm a homeschooler currently in Butte. I'm a junior. So looking at my options and heard a lot about Carroll and taking a look at it. So
Awesome. What other schools are you looking at?
well, right now I'm kind of especially looking at the Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C.
Sure.
So
It's a
I'm
good
kind
school.
of comparing my options. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That's a good school. All right.
My name is Morgan Hardy, and I'm a sophomore at Butte Central Catholic High School. I'm looking at Carroll because my dad went to Carroll and got an engineering degree, and I'm hoping to go into either engineering or mathematics. I'm also looking at Montana Tech University in Butte.
I think if you're interested in engineering, you have to look at tech too, don't you?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, I don't know if you could go wrong with either place. They're both good engineering programs. And your dad's an engineer? Awesome. You know what? I spaced your names.
Nathan's.
Nathan. Morgan, that's right. Sorry about that. Okay. Well, so we'll do some. My name's Alan Hansen, by the way, director of the Comm Center, producer of the podcast, advisor of the podcast. It's a student podcast. We'll just have a Butte High School student, prospective student segment.
Awesome.
All right, so let's look at some would you rathers. There was one that I really liked here. Would you rather? We'll start with Nathan. Would you rather have smelly feet or bad breath?
I'd have to say probably smelly feet. I can kind of mask those with my shoes and socks. So
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like you're less out there. What do you think, Morgan?
Yeah, the same thing. Bad breath bugs me.
When you have smelly feet, you don't notice necessarily. Yeah, I think I'd go with the same thing. Smelly feet. Yeah. How about? Oh, here's one my students love. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can get it right. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
no, I'd have to go with one horse-sized duck.
Okay.
'Cause, I don't know,
Less
having
coming at
100 of those things coming at you, kind of get a little bit
Yeah,
clustered.
might be overwhelming. Yeah, what are you thinking?
I think I'd fight the duck because the horses would trample you, I feel like.
Yeah. They're small, they're little, but there's 100 of them.
And they've got teamwork.
Yeah, they've got the teamwork on their side. Okay. I've never landed on a position there. I'd have to see both of them.
Yeah, it's kind of a difficult
make my choice. Yeah, like if there was a corral, one corral with the horses and another one with the duck, I'd kind of look and see which one.
It'd be interesting to see the wingspan on that duck.
That's true. That could get you in the beak. They have a lot of power in the beak. So yeah, I don't know. I think it would be creepier to fight the horses.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you think of like rodent-sized horses, duck-sized horses, they're huge.
Yeah.
For that. So yeah. All right. How about we'll do one more. Imagine for the rest of your life, everything you eat is either too sweet or not sweet enough. Which would you rather have?
Not sweet enough.
Not sweet enough.
Yeah, I like bitter things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you might not notice so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I'd have to say too sweet. I'm a big fan of sweet,
Okay.
so yeah.
So
Yeah.
the universe would have a tough time finding something too sweet.
It would have a very tough time.
Very good. Well, thank you both for chatting with me. I appreciate the time. Maybe we'll see you around the lower library at Carroll at some point.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I am here in the great town of Butte, and we are talking to some prospective Carroll students. I'd like to know who you are, and then I'll ask you a couple questions. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
All right.
Hi there, I am Michael Peck, and I attend Butte Central.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm Mackenzie Cup, and I also attend Butte Central.
Awesome. And so, Mackenzie, you've been on our podcast before. Yeah, because we did this on the academic day, and yeah. So, I've been wanting to ask somebody. You got your gift certificate?
I did get my gift certificate.
Awesome. Okay, good. I was hoping that went through. All right. So, Michael, what are you thinking of studying at Carroll?
I'm thinking about studying theater, getting a major in theater, and then a minor in business. So
That's awesome.
Those are my two passions.
That's really cool. And they go well together.
Yeah,
Because theater is also a business.
Yeah.
And it should be said, business is also theater.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. What about you, Mackenzie?
Oh, I'm torn right now.
Okay. What are you
Between,
thinking of studying? Do you have that part out yet? You have that decided?
I think I'm between accounting and engineering.
Okay. Very good.
Very
good.
different.
And you're considering Carroll. Are you considering other places as well?
I am committed to Carroll.
Oh, okay. You're coming to Carroll, but you don't know for sure what you're going to be looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. Accounting, engineering, those aren't so much exactly the same thing. Those are pretty different. Yeah, that's true. They do have that in common. Lots of math for different purposes and probably different math. I have no idea really.
It's all good to me.
All right. So, couple would you rather questions. We'll start with an easy one. Would you rather have bad breath or smelly feet?
Feet.
Yeah,
Going feet.
Feet you can cover up a little easier.
Yeah. And now, smelly feet, I mean, if they're so smelly that you can smell your feet, then they're pretty bad, right? But bad breath is, we notice when we have bad breath too, probably. All right. Yeah, I think I'd go with smelly feet too. Just thinking about the people around me, I think you can hide smelly feet better. Yeah. All right. That's a good one. How about this one? Imagine for the rest of your life, everything you eat is either too sweet or not sweet enough. Which one would you rather?
Not sweet enough.
Not sweet enough. Okay.
I'm going to have to go with not sweet enough,
Not
too.
sweet enough. Too sweet's not great for you.
Yeah, it just sits wrong in the tongue.
Yeah.
That's always how it goes.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I think I'd go not sweet enough too because too sweet makes me kind of sick. But not sweet enough, it's just maybe mildly annoying if I notice, right?
But it's rare in some foods.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. I'm going to give this one to you, Michael. You might have had this one before. I don't know. I'll ask you both. You might have had a couple of months to think about this one, Mackenzie. Would you rather fight? Does this sound familiar for yet?
I don't have memory like
Okay.
that.
Oh, fair enough. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Duck-sized horses.
You'd go with the 100 duck-sized horses?
Yeah,
Yeah.
duck-sized horses.
Yeah.
Ducks are scary, man. Those
Wouldn't it be-
things.
Ducks are mean.
Like
Yeah,
little
that's true.
hands.
Can you imagine a bill on a horse-sized duck?
That would be
It'd
terrifying.
Powerful, right? Yeah.
Be the size of a sword.
Yeah. Yeah. I would be nasty. Plus, I don't know. Would it freak you out to see 100 duck-sized horses coming at you?
I think I'd like to keep some.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's
Those
true. You would try to get past the fighting and maybe
Yeah.
have them.
Domesticate them.
Domesticate
Make
them.
a business out of it.
Well, there you go. That would be awesome. Very good. Thank you both for chatting with me. I appreciate it. And good luck at Carroll. I'm sure I'll see you around, so
Yeah,
I'm
for
looking
sure.
forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you for having us on here.
All right, I'm in the awesome town of Butte this evening, and we are chatting with prospective potential Carroll students, and happy to be here. I'll have you introduce yourselves.
I'm Vanessa West.
I'm Jim Bradshaw.
Very good. Okay. So, Vanessa, what do you think? Are you a senior in high school? Okay. Where are you thinking of going to school? Thinking about Carroll or Tech, and what are you thinking about majoring in? Oh, okay. Both have really good nursing programs, actually. I don't think you could go wrong. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And you're from Butte. Did you grow up here? Okay. Does the moving an hour away versus staying in town have any sway? Either does it make you lean one way or the other?
No, I don't mind moving away because it's not very far,
Yeah.
and I still like my brothers are still really young, so
Oh, okay.
I want to see them, but
Yeah.
an hour's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
No.
It's just long enough to where you don't get the
Yeah.
pop by, right?
Yeah.
The parental pop by.
Yeah,
So that's good. But yeah, it's an hour. You can do that even on a weekday if you wanted to. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be a weekend. So that's awesome. What about you, Jim?
I have a handful of places in mind. I haven't quite narrowed it
Okay.
down yet.
Okay.
I'm still waiting to hear from a handful of places.
Okay.
Whether I get in or not. But,
Very good. So you've cast a wide net. Are they all in the Northwest, or are you looking at places outside?
Couple, some on the East Coast. Some
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I went to grad school. I graduated from Boise State, but then I went to grad school in upstate New York,
Oh, very cool.
and I got that experience.
Yeah.
And sometimes going away for school is the only time you get to see a place, right? So
Yeah.
it's a great way to see somewhere, to go to school there. So I don't blame you all. I think that's really cool. That is awesome. What are you thinking about studying?
Political science and English. That's
Okay.
Kind
Okay.
of the thought right now. but we'll
Very
see.
good. Well, any school that you look at is going to have those two things, so that's an advantage.
Very nice.
Very good. What are you thinking about doing with political science and English? Do you have a something in your mind's eye, a path?
It'd be cool to be an ambassador, but
Okay.
professor would be cool, or if not, high school teacher.
Awesome.
Yeah. all
Good
of it
for you,
sounds
man.
good.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to ask you a couple would you rather questions. You might have heard of a couple of them. You might have had a little time to think about it. I'll ask you this one. Would you it's pretty easy, I think. Would you rather have bad breath or smelly feet?
Smelly feet.
What about you, Vanessa?
me too.
Yeah, smelly feet.
Yeah,
I think me too. Right? Just thinking about other people, it's easier to cover up. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What about this one? So imagine that for the rest of your life, everything you eat is either too sweet or not sweet enough. Would you rather?
not sweet enough.
Not sweet enough?
Yeah, not sweet enough.
Why is that?
Because I don't know. I think you could tolerate bland food for a while.
Okay.
I don't think you could deal with sweet food.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about that. If I eat something that's too sweet, it kind of makes me queasy, so I'd rather avoid that. That makes sense. Okay, last one. Here we go. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
What? One horse-sized duck.
Going with the horse-sized duck. What about you, Vanessa?
I guess I'd go with the same thing.
Yeah? The horse-sized duck?
Yeah.
You worried at all about the bill? It's probably 3 feet long at this point.
That's true.
A lot of power there. On the other hand, the duck-sized horses, that would be kind of creepy, you know? They're charging at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a win there, frankly. They both sound frightening in different
I
ways.
think if they were small, I'd feel bad for hurting them.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'd
true
rather fight
too. That's a
something
good
big.
point. You just wail on the duck because it's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It would feel wrong to fight small horses. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Very good. Vanessa making the moral choice. I like it. Well, thank you both for talking to me. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I am here in the great town of Butte, meeting with some potential Carroll students. We're going to ask a couple questions, but I want you to introduce yourselves, so go ahead.
Hi, I'm Joe, and I'm a sophomore.
All right.
I'm Arwen, and I'm a freshman, actually,
Okay.
at Butte Central.
Awesome. Also Butte Central?
Yes.
Okay, Joe, right?
Yep.
Now, are you named after someone from Lord of the Rings?
Yep, that's
Okay,
true.
that's the R1. Arwyn?
Ian.
Ian, Arwen. Okay, very good. That's a pretty name. All right, here we go. So, well, I'll just ask a couple. So you're a freshman, you're a sophomore.
Yep.
And you're Joe.
Yes.
Do you have a brother here?
I do, Jim.
I think I was warned not to bring you on this podcast. Does that sound right? Does that track?
Probably.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we're here now, so let's go. All right, we're gonna do Would You Rather. Well, let me ask a couple of questions first. So, are you thinking about college yet? I wasn't when I was a freshman or sophomore, but are you guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like, getting, like, that in my brain now.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
It's never too early, I guess. It's certainly not too early once you hit high school, because it kind of textures your activities, right? And you make plans, and maybe you don't feel like you're in such a rush later on, something like that. So that makes sense. What about you, Joe?
I'm starting to look a little bit going into junior year. That's when I'm really gonna start the college.
That's
shopping.
true. That stuff starts up for real junior year, doesn't it? With ACT if you take it and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so yeah, that's true. You're getting close to the time. All right, here we go. Would you rather? First, an easy one. I think everybody's picked the same answer so far. Would you rather have bad breath or smelly feet?
Smelly feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Why is that?
Probably because it's farther away from you.
Okay. Bothers you less. You can cover it up a little better, maybe. We live in a society where we cover our feet anyway, usually. So, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Everybody has chosen the smelly feet so far. Makes sense. Yeah. Okay, what about this one? So imagine for the rest of your life, everything you eat is either not sweet enough or too sweet. Which would you rather?
Definitely too sweet.
Not sweet enough.
Okay, not sweet enough. Most people have gone not sweet enough, but too sweet. So you like sweet then?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Do you ever I kind of get queasy if I eat something too sweet? If I eat like too much frosting or something?
No.
No? Okay. Too sweet it is.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. This is the last one. This is the big one. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Definitely the 100 duck-sized horses.
You're going to fight 100 duck-sized horses.
One horse-sized duck.
You're going to fight the duck. Now, are you concerned at all about the bill? Because that would frighten me on a horse-sized duck.
Ducks don't seem that smart.
Okay, so you're going to outsmart it. You're going to outmaneuver it.
That's the plan.
Okay, I like it. Okay. So, someone brought up with the 100 duck-sized horses the moral quandary of
stepping on mini horses? Does that bother you at all?
I wouldn't step on them. I'd like round them up.
Oh, you'd round them up. You'd capture them.
Yeah.
We're not fighting to the death. We're capturing.
Yeah.
Okay. They might be easier to round up than the horse-sized duck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Arwen, Joe, do you have anything that you'd like to tell us in a parting way?
No, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you both.
Big Sky, Small World is sponsored by the Carroll College Communications Center.
Helping the Carroll and Helena communities with presentations, multimedia, and podcasting since 2020.
Find us in the library or email Director Alan Hansen at ahansen@carroll.edu. Welcome back to M&M. My name's Mila.
And I'm Maria.
And we're two roommates who shouldn't work.
But we do.
We didn't really come with a topic this week. I think we're planning on just like catching up because I think it's been a day and a half.
This week has been the longest week of Carroll history.
I don't know. Last week also might come close to longest
Last week was also really long. Okay, just to put into perspective.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day, by the way.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day as of recording this.
As today is. Well, the thing about February, and I just saw not a TikTok, but a video about this, is that February is the most sucky month of the entire year.
It really is.
Because February is one of these things where like it feels on a calendar like it's supposed to be spring, but it's not.
It has snowed.
It's very much snow.
Month.
And especially in Montana, it's just snow, actually. And cold and negative.
Real cold. This is like up there with the coldest it's been while I'm on campus. Because usually when it's like -17, it's winter break for me. So I'm not in this state.
It's very cold right now. And then what's fantastic about February is that then it comes along with like Valentine's Day, which is either good or really bad for people. And then we have Ash Wednesday. So it's like February is literally just the month of like, you should be sad.
When is Ash Wednesday?
I think it's
not next Wednesday, is it?
It's soon. It's coming up.
Ash Wednesday. I don't think it's till March this year. Yeah, it's the first week of March. It's not even in February. Easter is late.
Oh boy. But still, you get the picture.
Yeah, usually Ash Wednesday.
February is a lot of fake hope.
Do you know what you're doing for Lent yet?
Probably not cussing.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's kind of what I've been doing the last couple of years. It hasn't stuck throughout the year.
Lent is a time of trying. I think I'm going to go back to giving up secular music again.
Oh, I can't. I can't. Just to put in perspective, I'm kind of loosely doing Fiat 90, which is also a thing where you kind of give up stuff. And I'm trying to give up secular music. And the truth of the matter is, I can give up secular music for instrumental music because I like instrumental music. I do not like Christian music. There's like, I would say a good 10 songs that I'm like, okay. And then pretty much everything else, I'm like, I don't like this at all.
I can make myself listen to it because I always need background noise. It's like I would rather have Christian music than silence.
No, I'd rather have silence.
But this is why, as we say at the beginning, it shouldn't work, but it does.
I like the silence.
I hate
I don't
silence.
I really dislike, and this is going to sound really bad, but I really dislike male led Christian music. Like a man singing about praying drives me crazy. I hate it. Like a woman singing about how like she found God at the waters or whatnot. I'm like totally fine with that.
I started singing "Teach Me," a Christian song, in adoration in my head the other day because I was just so bored. We went to adoration after RCIA. Like Father Tyler did a special adoration.
How long was it? How long were you there?
I was only there 15 minutes, but I usually, when I go to adoration, I like to go for like 30 minutes. But he didn't tell us we were doing adoration, so I scheduled something for right after, or else I would have like stayed. But
gotcha.
It was like not a usual like adoration, like he specially brought out because we were talking about the Eucharist. I am already Catholic, but I have a friend who I'm sponsoring, so I do go to RCIA every week. That's like just
That's the Catholic like class.
Catholic class too.
How to be Catholic 101.
Literally.
I'm a cradle Catholic, so I don't need to go.
She's never gone. I've gone twice now.
I actually kind of want to go to see what you guys talk about because like the truth of the matter is I probably know it all. You know what I mean?
There are people who come to just like hear the information because it's a really good like a good idea of how things work.
Right, but it's like also I've been having religion classes integrated in school from kindergarten to when I graduated. So it's like I probably know what's up.
There's some things that like even the super cradle Catholics like you who have gone to Catholic school, it's like particularly there's one thing that I can always think of there and it's like, oh, that is super useful about RCIA, and it's how to read the catechism. Because I feel like that is something that people are not taught.
What do they say? How to read the catechism? Like how do they approach that?
It's like how to like what the different things within the catechism mean is a whole like class in itself, kind of where it's like this is the Bible verse that goes with this, and this is a reference point. Like those little numbers in the catechism all mean something.
Well, yeah.
And it's like what those mean. And it's actually,
See, the
I
thing
enjoy
is,
it.
I know that there's meaning behind all that. Just simply don't care as much about it. I mean, the catechism is cool and all. I'm not dissing on the catechism. I don't think it's the best way to learn about the Catholic Church, though.
Oh, I love the catechism.
You would. I think you like weird things.
The catechism gives proof and it gives direct, like, this is related to this, which is related to this, and this is where you find this. And I'm like, ooh, that's my favorite thing. But I'm also like, I logicked my way to Catholicism to a point. Like, you have to have faith and reason, but I logicked my way to a point, and I feel like it was just something that you were gifted with from the start.
It was more of a spiritual thing than a logic thing for me.
And I have the spiritual aspect, but it started with logic, and I'm just like I have to logic my way through to things. Now, my logic's not good most of the time. Ask OChem and physics. My logic is not good.
Yeah, speaking of OChem and physics, they suck.
Oh, if I could get rid of one thing in this world, it would be organic chemistry.
It would be organic chemistry. Absolutely. Throw it out the window. Start from scratch. I'm not convinced it's real.
No.
I'm like seriously, honest to God, and I know that it has to be, but I just don't buy it because like we'll be sitting there in class and we're moving electrons around and doing all these goofy things, and I just simply don't think that it's real.
No, I know it's real. I've seen it work. I'm working in it in biochem, and I still cannot wrap my head around the fact that like you can do it, that it is a possible thing because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Today, I got a problem so wrong that it was right.
That's not how that works.
I did it so backwards that I ended up with the right answer because I had the two parts leading up to it wrong, and it like led to a right answer. But I was so wrong that it was right. And then I tried to correct myself and ended up with an even wronger answer using the right method.
That's impressive.
And I was just like sitting there. And then he goes over in class and we're doing another problem. And I'm like, oh, I get this.
Well, there you go.
And
You
I'm
understood.
so backwards that when the answer actually flipped, I had flipped it completely all upside down. And everything was wrong. Even though we were literally doing the problem together in class, I still got it wrong.
That's tough.
So,
well, I haven't really understood anything leading up to where I am now in OChem. And today, I understood molecular orbital theory, which is the most random thing to understand. Like, I was like, yeah.
I love molecular orbital theory.
Why?
Well, we go into a lot
Everybody
of PChem.
hates it.
PChem makes OChem make sense.
I don't believe that.
PChem, it's based highly on OChem, but OChem made no sense till PChem.
Physical chemistry. That sounds horrible.
Physical chemistry is my favorite chemistry course I've ever taken. It's also the highest grade I've ever gotten on a chem test.
Gen Chem? ?
No, physical chemistry got a 96 on one of those tests.
Wow, way to go.
I think I got a 98 and the average was a 96.
Hey, we'll take it.
It's okay. There was a test this week where somebody got 106%, and let's just say I got less than half of that.
It's okay. Both of us found out that we failed a test this week.
Yeah, but I got into grad school.
She did get into grad school. I did not. I just get to keep going.
Well, now I got to keep
Yay!
going.
Yay.
Yay. 2 more years, but I don't have to deal with the cold.
This is true. She's going to Alabama.
Yep. University of Alabama, Birmingham is my next
Sweet
stop.
home Alabama.
Do you want to come visit me?
Yeah. I don't know how or when, but yeah.
I think you should come for fall break.
I could probably do that.
Want to come to Birmingham?
Birmingham? Yeah, I could do that.
We
That'd
could
be
go to
cool.
the beach.
Ooh, there's a beach.
Like 3 hours away.
We
could do a beach weekend.
I like the beach.
You do like the beach.
I'm a big beach girl.
You love the beach, and you can go and you can run around and scare all the birds away from me.
This is true. You do not like birds.
I don't like birds. But you do like birds.
I do like birds.
So you can try and catch them, and then they won't want to come near us.
That's a good point.
Once again, it doesn't work. It shouldn't work, but it does.
Yeah, it's been a really long week. Like, seriously long. Today in genetics, Dr. Beck asked if, she was like, how's everybody doing? And like, we were all like, because it's been tough.
I don't know why this week has been so long. Well, I do. I failed an exam on Monday. I took a new one on Wednesday. We got that one back today. And sad thing is, I think that was my highest scoring biochem exam ever. And everybody else, it was like, this is their lowest scoring exam.
It's okay. A
And
win is a win.
I still didn't score as good as them.
Yeah.
But my biochem class is such a mess that she's cutting one of our projects.
Ooh, that's nice.
I don't know though, because I think I could have done well on that project and it would have like bumped my grade up.
Unfortunate. See, next week in OChem lab, we're going over our oral presentations that we're going to do like the next week. And it's all coming really fast. I thought that was a ways away. And it turns out that is not a ways away.
We had an outline due today and nobody knew about the outline. And so she's like, I don't know if I should have you guys do this project because this is not going to be good. And we're like, no. So, but we're just going to do a more research emphasis. Our research we've been like really into though. We haven't done any wet lab yet. Wet lab might crush our spirits.
We're going to do a slight wet lab for genetics next week. And we're going to do micropipetting.
Oh, I love micropipetting.
I mean, it's pretty cool. My thing is more like I've been really enjoying the
fly
simulations just because it's like it's easy. It's kind of a brain teaser. So you just kind of sit there, cross flies for a couple hours and then just go home and it's very painless.
Yeah. The genetics wet lab, even when it doesn't work, I love biology labs though. So
I don't know if I like any labs. That's what I'm coming to, which is a little disturbing.
Well, I don't think you need to like labs for what you want to do in life. Quite honestly, you're not me. I decided to get a whole master's degree in lab, basically, because I love lab so much. I don't love lecture and I don't love knowing the science, but I do love doing lab and running tests.
Interesting.
So that's what my master's is in.
I like when I work at the clinic, I like to do the lab work, but the lab work there is also way different. It's more like run this in a certain way and the computer tells you the information. It's not like you have to figure out what's happening. It's like the computer will tell you what's happening. So it's just kind of like busy work almost, which is enjoyable.
See, that's what my degree is going to be in, which will be enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
And it's like looking at slides and stuff, which I enjoy to like look at things. I used to hate microscopy. That's something that I used to absolutely detest. And then I did microbio and molecular bio research at the same time. And I used a microscope so much that I'm like, I can't even detest this now. It really was one of those things. Usually I think this is a complete lie when they say you have to do it a certain amount of time before like you like it. It's like the more you do it, the more you'll like it. That's a complete lie when it comes to OChem because I've done a lot of OChem at this
I've also
point.
done a lot of OChem, and to be honest with you, actually this week, not this week, the last 2 days, I've had a lot of positive talk in my mind about OChem, and I'm like kind of convincing myself that it is very doable because it is, and that I'm actually not as bad as it as I think. However, that being said, still not my favorite. Have done a lot of OChem, do not like it.
I've done a lot more OChem than you, I would say.
I would say that's true. I would say that's true.
I still hate every moment of it. And Carroll College has such great professors. And they all
really
love
do.
OChem. And I don't like our biochem professors and organic chemists. We have 2 organic chemists like that are organic chem professors. And they all just love it so much.
They just love it. And I feel bad. It's almost like I feel like it's a disservice sometimes when I'm in their class because like today I was in office hours with Dr. Farr and she just loves it, you know? And I was talking to her about it and I was like figuring some stuff out. And I was like, okay, cool. And we were kind of talking about it and just talking about chemistry in general. And you could just see the light turn on in her soul, you know? And I was just like, I really detest this subject.
Bad for like hating the thing they love so
I
much.
know. It's tough. But the thing is that they do really want to help us and they do really want,
They
you
do
know,
care.
and they care, but it's just tough because they love it and you're just like, I'm doing this strictly because I have to and not because I want to.
And it's like, I hate this so much. And I don't understand how you find any joy because
Yeah.
this brings me exclusively misery.
This keeps me up at night and you're just over here making a life out of it. It's kind of crazy.
I'm like, also my biochem class, like everybody in that class is trying to get their PhD. And I'm just like, you guys make me psychotic. Because the idea of getting my PhD is like a nightmare for me. And everybody, well, one girl's not getting her PhD, but she's going to vet school. They're all going to be doctors of some sort. And I am not going to be a doctor of any sort ever.
Yeah. I'm just focusing on getting done with this 4 years. And then whatever comes after that will come after that. But
also, I thought I had no motivation before getting into grad school. Now I have 0.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It really does. The senioritis is probably hitting like a mad truck.
I'm like, I just need to pass, but I want to do better than pass in some of the things.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I also want to do better than pass. Right now, I'm currently failing a class and passing with an 88 in another class.
Well, I currently have like a 46 in a class.
I have a 51 in a class. But
Yeah.
I have 100 in the homework, but that doesn't really matter.
Well, I have 4 weeks worth of homework to catch up on in this class. And he said, if I see that you're trying really hard, we're going to make you pass. And so I'm going to start trying really, really hard. I started taking notes and I like was asking him if my notes were okay. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'm still so confused.
I know. That's the hard part is like when you ask for help and they help you and like what they're still saying means nothing. You're like, ooh, we're more lost than we thought.
And my thesis, I'm really worried because my introduction.
You're writing a thesis?
Uh-huh.
What is it?
The effects of the homeopathic supplement Nux vomica on the model organism Tetrahymena thermophila.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. So my intro I need to edit, and that's a beast of an intro. My methods were easy because I got like the highest grade possible for a me on the edit or on the methods in the first place. This intro is so bad. And I've gone over half of it with the Writing Center tutor. And I think I submitted the wrong one to the peer review.
Oopsies.
And I'm like, I feel bad for making them read the original. But I need a B in that. Like, I get graded because it's worth credits.
Do I have to do a thesis?
No, I'm psychotic. But I do think the thesis is the reason I got into grad school because they want my thesis at the end.
What if it's bad? Will they kick you out?
No. I was accepted without contingency, except for I have to pass a background check and pass a medical exam.
Pass a medical exam?
Yeah.
As in what? Like, if you have a broken foot, you can't attend? Like, I don't quite understand.
No, it's not like a broken foot. It's like a...
If you can't see, you already can't see. Like, that's going to be a problem.
Well,
they want able-bodied people? That's going to be an issue.
I am able-bodied. What do you mean I'm not able-bodied?
I don't know.
No, I can see just with the help of corrective lenses.
Yeah.
That's what my driver's license says. I wouldn't go to school without my corrective lenses. It doesn't work well.
Well, yeah, but what are they looking for?
I'm kind of not really sure. Well,
or is it a drug test? That's the real question.
I do also have to get drug tested. I know that. And that I'm going to pass because I don't do drugs.
Yay.
Yay. I should have no problem passing my drug test. I'm trying to think what else. There's something about like I think they have to make sure I have all my like shots and stuff.
I have a special pass that says I don't have to do that.
Yes, the epilepsy pass.
The epilepsy pass. Woot woot.
In case you didn't know, Maria has epilepsy.
Let's go.
No, I think did I tell you in biochem lab on yesterday morning, I said, yeah, we were eating some donuts. And I was like, maple bars are really hard to frost. And they're like, how would you know that, Mila? And I'm like, oh, I worked at a donut shop for 4 years.
Of course you did. Doc, what have you not done?
They reacted like that. And I think working at a donut shop is not the weirdest thing that's come out of my mouth.
No, but it's just like one more thing. I don't know when you had time for all this lore. Like,
I feel like a lot of, I don't know.
4 years? What 4 years? How, like, of high school? All 4 years of high school?
The last 2 and the first 2 of college.
During the summer?
During any breaks I had, I would go back.
What were your other high school jobs, or was that it?
I was a nanny. In college, I've worked at Gold Team. I worked at the Hunthausen Activity Center. I've lab aided. I worked at Old Navy for a little bit.
I worked at Ace Hardware.
Oh, I was a preschool teacher one summer too.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, when did you have time for all this?
The bakery I mainly did on the weekends. So I would work like during the summers a weekday job
try
and
not,
then a weekend job.
I try not to work on the weekends. Because my family.
Yeah, my mom worked too.
I used to work at Ace on the weekends. Like, I'd take a Saturday shift. I always have asked for no Sundays. It's holy day, you know?
No, because in high school I worked Saturday and Sunday mornings.
Disrespecting the Lord.
I wasn't religious then.
I'm joking.
My
dude.
mom would go to church sometimes. Not Catholic church, but.
Yeah, for a long time I worked only part-time at Ace. And then for a while I worked more.
Did you work after school at Ace?
Yeah, well, I started working at Ace during COVID. So I would just go in at noon and work till close, which was like 8. So, you know, just like 4 hours. But, you know, money.
Noon to 8?
Yeah.
It's 4 hours.
Yeah, that's what I said. Just like 4 hours.
Noon?
Noon to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 8. Never mind. More like 6 hours, you know, 6 or 8. So about this whole bachelor's of science stuff.
Bachelor's of arts in science.
Is that really what we're doing over here?
Yeah, because I had to.
I'm getting a bachelor's of arts degree. Nope.
I had to
I'm getting a bachelor's in biology. That's what I'm getting.
A bachelor's of arts in biology, because when I was applying to grad school, there wasn't a BA option. There was only a BS option for the sciences. So I like had to type in something, and whatever I typed in, it typed in wrong. And so I guess when I submitted mine to the grad school I will be attending in the fall, when I submitted it, it went through as an associate's, and they're like, is this a bachelor's or an associate's? We're kind of confused. It looks like a bachelor's.
That's because it is.
And that's because it is. And I'm trying to explain that it's a bachelor's of arts. And they're like, oh, okay. I mean, like, I still got in. But I also didn't realize I applied like early action.
I think I'm just gonna forego that when I talk to things and just be like, I have a bachelor's in biology. They'll be like, okay. Be like, thanks.
Yeah, I have a bachelor's of arts in biochemistry is what I'll have, with a minor in biology, with a pre-dental pathway certification that I'm not using.
I'll have a biology degree with a theology minor, which is honestly kind of a cute thing.
Theology minor is cool.
Well, and the cool thing about theology minor, and I had somebody ask me this the other day, it was like, what's the difference between a theology minor and a Catholic studies minor? And a lot. The difference is a lot.
Huge.
Because the thing is, theology is more like the philosophical reasoning behind Christianity, and Catholic studies is more like the Catholic Church.
Yeah, and I feel like the theology classes are broader, a lot broader than Catholic studies classes.
Well, they're over more disciplines and stuff. Like, I'm gonna read a book by a evangelical priest, I think.
Yeah.
Or a Eastern Orthodox, that's what it is.
Eastern Orthodox?
Yep. And so it's like, it's less of, like, it's not talking about the Catholic Church specifically. It's talking about more of that, like, early church and, like, how all these things are working. And even, like, now, how it's working in the church. But, like, we're talking about church more like Christianity instead of Catholicism. In the time frame that I'm going over stuff right now in my theology class, it's more of, like Catholic, like, what made the Catholic Church. But the thing is that this is like the time period we're in right now is like before the Great Schism, and it's before all these other things.
So it's theology. They're both really cool.
Yeah.
And to a point, like
it's more critical thinking in theology than Catholic studies, I think.
Yeah, and also like the theology we get here is a Catholic theology basis.
Yeah. But
there theology is broader.
Yeah, so there has to be room for other things. So.
I took an upper level theology here. Like upper level, it was like a 200, but you need to take 2. So
I think the one I'm in right now is a 300, and it's tough. We're reading some tough.
Yeah, the 300 sound tough. You need like a lower and an upper just to graduate from Carroll with our bachelor's of arts.
Teehee.
And my upper division, traditionally, she read 1. The class would read 1 autobiography by somebody who's not Catholic, but it was a special anniversary, so we ended up reading Thomas Merton instead, which I do not regret because that was actually a really good read. But that was like a top class for me, honestly.
Yeah, no, I love my theology classes. They're very nice.
You should try and take one with Dr. Greiner for your minor.
I don't think I will. I think that because I only have 1 left.
You only have 1 left for the entire minor?
Yep. That's why I did the minor, because I was like, I realized that I literally needed like 2 classes to get the minor.
What do you have left?
Just a scriptures class. So I'll probably end up taking it with Cam, to be honest with you.
Yeah, do you like old or new?
It depends on what fits in my schedule. I mean, hypothetically, I would want New Testament just because I find it more interesting. Like, I mean, the Old Testament's cool, but it's also just like there's a lot going on. It's can be really dense and like really confusing, and especially at the beginning there's a lot of like really wacky things that happen and you're just kind of confused as to why we're talking about it.
Old Testament could be 3 classes.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so it's like, but I think it might be the one that works best with my schedule, so I might end up taking Old Testament, which is still cool because I feel like Old Testament is one of those things that most people don't know as much about.
My Bible study has been doing a lot of Old Testament because we do have a girl who identifies as Jewish and like her religion is Jewish in our Bible study. So we try and pull.
So crazy.
We try and pull from the Old Testament because she has a Torah that she reads from. Mm-hmm. And so like we'll kind of go around. We all have different versions of the Bible and she'll read what's in her Torah. And of course, like the Torah is the Old Testament to like an extent.
What do you read in the Old Testament?
We read some Genesis the other day.
Yeah.
Kind of just classics. Usually we'll do like an Old Testament passage and a New Testament passage, or like the other weekend we just did New Testament. We've done like it went new, old. 1 week we had old and new. We were kind of flipping around. But my Bible study is also very like every week is intentionally designed to target certain people in our Bible study. And I know the way I phrase that, like targeting is not usually good. It's like
to reaching somebody.
We're not like yours is like following a path of like we're learning about this, right?
Yeah, except for I didn't go yesterday. Teehee.
I skipped this week. We were having a Valentine's Day party and I was just overwhelmed.
I was just tired. I know that that's like not an excuse. But
I was just overwhelmed. I didn't do anything on Tuesday that I usually do because I was so overwhelmed. Just a lot of life. But I also booked tickets and like figured out a lot of things and like knew I had a test. And like I am so surprised I got a 77 on this test. Like it is insane when I think about it.
Good though.
And like I was really sad about that earlier today, and now I'm really happy about it again.
I think you should be happy about it. This has been a long week for everyone, as you can tell by our not so peppy demeanor.
But we're still here, and we got each other.
That is true.
Even though it shouldn't work, it does.
It does.
Big sky, small world, walking on high mountain alone. Took her to the big sky.
Thank you for tuning in to Big Sky, Small World. Theme music is by Alex Coulter. Please follow and leave comments on Instagram at bigsky.smallworld. Tune in next week.
And then you can program voices.
So, this is my voice. Let's see what you've got.
I don't even know how to describe it. I'm like a robot.
Robot, yeah. So, yeah, we play with this one quite a bit. We like this one.
I imagine.